Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
First in the building, Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, aka Showtime Shaw on deck. I see you, man. What's good with it? Team Tucker on deck. Once again, salute to you. You know what I'm saying? I see you. Shout out. Big shout out and salute to the hottest chat in the game. You already know, man. Shout out to Carlos Rosado in the building, man. On deck. That's all that need to be said, really. That's all that need to be said. You know, I got some hot grease for you. I want to talk about, you know why I still got this picture up here? It's just for me to continue to put the vapor rub in their eyeballs. That's why I didn't change it yet. I wanted to remind them when they talking about them loaded gloves and all the cheating conspiracies and all that. It's up to me to give you the visuals because the visuals are good. You know what I'm saying? The visuals are good. Okay, the visuals are good. It's a teaching moment. You know what I'm saying? It's a teaching moment. Don, Von, and the building. Salute WCS in the chat. Salute to you, Don. Damn, come back. Left my ass. Finally, I'm back in the hottest chat in the game. They timed me out on the weakest chat in the game. After Rick dipped his ass in the grease. What? You know I gotta do a reaction. Come on, man. He got done, roasted, cooked, goddamn overcooked, burnt, disintegrated. You trying to play with a triple OG in the game. Rick Glaser don't play that. It's only so many times that he gonna let you get a pass before he let you know the roads he's traveled. He's been back there. He's a triple OG, man. He's been back there in the Don King era. And bro, you played with the wrong one trying to sit up here and do it for the fame. No. Don't start talking about he got a black wife, Marty. Don't do that. Man, we're gonna get to that. Juice Lee on deck. Man, what's good with it, Juice? Man, what you been up to, man? Minister Marty is a clown. I gotta jump on dude's next live. He's doing too much. Hey man, he's not gonna let you on. You know, if it is, you know, just be sure what's her name ain't over there because everybody tries to protect Rachel. Oh, Rachel, they gotta protect her. And she can talk to anybody like crap and snap on people. You know what I'm saying? And all them guys over there try to, don't say that. But no, we ain't got time for that beta shit, dog. Christopher on deck, I see you in the building. Salute, WCS, salute to you. Yeah, man. See, that's the difference. It's a difference in the chat. That's why I say it's the hottest chat in the game. Because for one, first and foremost, the adults, they pretty much act the part. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who they are in life over here. You can jump on people's chat, and the first thing they do, if you've been on the panel or they've been eavesdropping or window shopping, first thing they do is time you out without doing anything. They just time people off for no reason. For no reason. That person might have wanted to leave a super chat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for no reason, they just time people out because they believe they doing something. They building up a union. You know what I'm saying? All you're doing is basically telling people, giving them the message, sending them the message, not to come over there. That's it. The XO factor in the building. What's good with the XO on deck, man? OGW says, what's good, big bro? I'm on deck. I've been working a lot. Hottest chat in the game. Yes, sir. Man, you know you got to get the bag. Come on, man. You know how it is. We know what it is, that XO. You know what I'm saying? The goddamn, the door is always open, bro. You know what it is. You got to get the bag. Don on deck. Salute to WCS in the chat in the building. I see you. So let's get down to a wiki. Check this out. So if you don't know or you haven't heard, incident that went down in Vegas, July 29th. You know, the fight of all fights happened, and we already know how that ended. But prior to the night in question, there was another fight that was non-sanctioned. That wasn't sanctioned. And I don't know what weight class it was. It might have been flyweight, super fly, bantam, super bantam. I don't know. We might have been up to featherweight. I don't know. They're eating good over there, off their man who's in the ring making all that money. Them women eating good over there. You know, they probably don't know what chicken is. They eat nothing but steak. But anyway, supposedly Mel Charlo and Ma Charlo's wife got into it. And that was the back end of a situation that happened earlier where the Charlo twins, crying only, was basically engaged in a heated argument, right? So in the process of that, the disrespectful Charlos, because I say Charlos because they're together. You know what I'm saying? They're together. Ma Charlo took it upon himself to try to reach out and grab the beard of Caleb Plant. This stemmed from Caleb Plant just trying to mediate a situation. And so everybody can, you know, be cool about it, whatever. And Ma Charlo must have thought, I don't know what he was thinking, really. He might have thought he was talking to the Nashville, Tennessee, nobody knows Caleb Plant, Jose Kostagi, Caleb Plant. I don't know what it was. The Caleb Plant way back in the day where the Benavidez, you know, the whole clan came over there to the gym. I don't know what he was thinking. But he had touched that man on his face. And you know damn well you don't touch a man on his face, especially when his wife right there, and it's out of disrespect. So Ma Charlo touched this man in his face. He said, chill, man. You know, you're doing too much, you know. Just chill. You don't have to touch me in the face. You know what I'm saying? Caleb Plant just putting it out there. Chill. You don't have to do that. Okay? You know, you don't have to touch me in the face like that now. He gave him fair warning. No, it wasn't enough. Ma Charlo did this shit again. So, you know, Caleb Plant at that point in time saying, I'm in the presence and company of my peers. My wife is right there. He started talking about white boy shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, matter of fact, I'll let you hear what Caleb Plant had to say. Because it's nothing like hearing the audio of those who were involved. You feel me? Let's listen to Caleb Plant, aka Sweet Hands. And boy, was that goddamn left hand sweeter than any freaking sweet potato pie you ever tasted from your grandma's house. You know what I'm saying? Let's hear from Caleb Plant. All right. Look how he breaks this down. He gave fair warning to Mar Charlo now.
Nobody. I mean, a man's got a right to, defend himself. Grown man touch another grown man in his face, pulling on his beard real hard. And, I got the decency to tell you not to do that again. I don't spaz on you right there.
Caleb said, I have the decency to tell you not to do it again. I don't spaz on you right there. That's what Caleb said. He said he has the decency not to spaz on you right there. He has the decency to tell you not to do it again and not spaz on you right there. He's given Charlo ample amount of time and space to say, hey, bro, look who's around us. Look at my wife right there. You know what I'm saying? Look, I got, our compeers around here, other boxers.
I got enough decency to tell you not to do that again. And, the only thing you can reply with is how I'm a bitch ass white boy. And look at them, y'all getting shook just like a bitch ass white boy would. And look at them, y'all, just like a white boy would, acting like a bitch.
So he's bringing in the white boy card, a bitch ass white boy. He's basically disrespecting Caleb in front of his wife. At that point in time, to be honest, if Caleb's skin complexion was that of mine, it would have already been hands thrown because I know how my people can be. It would have been people dead already. Call up the coroner. What happened? Oh, he touched him on his beard. Did he tell him to stop? He just told him once. And then he said, man, bitch ass nigga. And then the shots rang out. I'm telling you, that's how quick it is when it comes to my people now. Goddamn Caleb Plant was freaking very patient when the white boy shit started to be the chorus. He was very patient.
And then, you immediately grab my face again even harder. After I just asked you not to do that no more. I got my wife standing right behind me and I'm in a room full of my peers. I mean, what do? You making it real hard on a guy. You really putting his back on the wall. You start doing all that shit in front of you.
Caleb Plant said, you making it real hard. You pull my beard again real hard. My wife in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the company of my peers. You making it real hard. See what Caleb Plant almost said. You making it real hard on a nigga. But he caught himself. He said, oh shit. I'm talking about a situation where, I got to keep this. Caleb always, he almost slipped up and used his card. You know what I'm saying? A lot of black boxers now. You know what I'm saying? Caleb almost slipped up and said, you make it hard on a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I tried to tell you, but you want to keep on talking that white boy shit.
In front of my wife and everybody in the room. I didn't ask you to quit fucking with me.
Look, Caleb sound like a freaking hitman. Caleb explained that shit thoroughly, as calm as you can explain that, y'all. Caleb explained that thoroughly. Shout out to Miguel in the building. I respect Plant 100%. I don't play that white boy bullshit either. I take that shit as disrespect. Someone addresses me like that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, no shit. You know what I'm saying? Caleb was very calm. Look, I've been in a situation where Caleb was turned up. Real talk. I was in Nashville when I drove up there, and he was in a conversation. I'm not gonna go in detail about it, but he was in a deep argument with another particular fighter that they was trying to fight back then, which was David Benavidez. I'm gonna say, David Benavidez. So, he was telling some things that only you would know if you was at the fight and you was in that moment of doing media shit. It's real talk, because he was the main attraction. He was the main event. So when he walked, I walked. I wanted to, it wasn't hardly no media up there because they didn't care. But I'm on the elevator with Larry Wade, Caleb Plant, his pops, some other people. So I had my phone out recording, and then he said, "Hey, can you do me a favor and cut the phone off?" So I cut the phone off. He didn't tell me to go away like some of my brothers. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Can you cut the phone? Or can you start recording?" So when I got in there, he continued to talk. You know what I'm saying? Like he continued to talk to the people that was in there. He didn't care who was around, and he was talking about some details on something that was going on, and he disagreed with. He didn't wait till I get off the elevator. He knew I was media. I just finished interviewing him on stage in a media scrum, you know, and shit like that. So he know who I was, but I got respect for Caleb just based off the strength. I talked to him several times. I talked to him in Vegas. I talked to him another time. Each and every time he was cool people, low key, you know what I'm saying? Cool cat. But he had every right to check Marcello the way he did. He had every right. Outside of the white boy shit, he had every right when he told him, "Stop touching my beard." And then Marcello saying white boy shit. You know, that's just like added. Like that's added, man. What are you doing? You know, that's just adding to the problem. That's amplifying it. But that's the Charlos, though. That's the Charlos. So he said, I'm in the company of my peers, my wife here, and you up here just doing what you're doing and not expect me to do nothing. So now that moment that went viral of Caleb Plant slapping the wasabi, you know, on freaking Marcello, it was warranted, bro. That shit was absolutely warranted. In and out, it was warranted. It was warranted for Caleb to let him know. I mean, for Marcello to be known, you know, to make an example out of Marcello. It was absolutely warranted for Caleb to slap that man just once. Like, I'm surprised, and like my people, it would have been way crazier than that. But Caleb slapped the taste out of Marcello, man. After fucking with him. You didn't think Caleb was gonna come up there and retaliate for what you said, man? Come on, what you did. You up here talking about white boy, you know, weak ass white boy, whatever you saying, man. You better be glad he didn't do a combination. You better be glad he didn't hit you with the 1-2. He gave you the one. That's it, and that was a hook. That was a lead slap hook. God damn it. Charlos are always talking. I mean, the Charlos are always talking reckless to people. This right here, man, this dude slapped the taste out your mouth, and it was absolutely warranted. Then, not only that, male Charlo girl, go beat your girl down in the parking lot. Like, it was some ratchet shit. I know they don't hardly use that word no more. That was some ratchetness right there. Caleb Plant was goddamn slap the shit out your man, and then the wife come up there and catch you lacking in the parking lot. She putting hands on you like she's doing a goddamn commercial, like she's doing a commercial for some new gloves, some new MMA gloves. She was beating you while you on the canvas. I think they work, Dana. I think they work. What do y'all think? 1 take, 2 takes? I think she did it. She goddamn demonstrated the ground and pound. You know, these gloves are gonna work. Okay, go ahead, edit it, and let's see the finals cut. Let's go. It's a wrap. I mean, she was doing a commercial for some new 4-ounce gloves, man. She was putting them knuckles on her, and then girl got up. She was holding the right side of her face. It was just ratchet. It was just crazy ratchet. But shout out to Caleb Plant, because he told Marcello, you know what I'm saying? He gave him more than one warning. He was calm about it. When you get a dude like Caleb that talk calm like that and been through what he been through in life, losing his daughter, his mom gunned down by in her incident with law enforcement. You know, he been through some, he been through it, man. He been through some stuff. I ain't gonna lie. He been through it now. for you to just negate all of that. See, I look into all that when when I'm dealing with people. I look into everything. If I know them, I try to look into what they did. I play that. My mind just goes sometimes. And I think about certain people and the way they act and what they've been through. I just process it and why they doing what they doing. But Mar Charlo didn't process any of that. Or if he did, he didn't care. He didn't care that man been through a lot of shit. So his return on Mar Charlo cashing, writing that check, he didn't respect Caleb Plant was gonna, cash that motherfucker the way he did. Oh boy, he cashed that shit. Goddamn, Mar Charlo wrote that, and Caleb Plant cashed. So he slapped the taste out, smack him. You know what I'm saying? When you put that, smack him. He put the goddamn slap hook on him, bro. The lead slap hook, and he had the right hand up for the counter. And he had the right hand up. He wasn't even on the phone, but he had that motherfucker up like, I'm ready. Catch and shoot, goddammit. He was ready. He thought, damn, okay. You the one that's in 160, right? I'm expecting you. Let's go. I'm at 68. You in 60, okay. Even though Caleb Plant looked like he was a heavyweight that day, he slapped the taste out of Mar Charlo. The bragging rights of Mar Charlo is that his hat didn't come off. If that hat would have came off, oh my God. If Caleb would have slapped that dude and the hat came off, oh my googity goo 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 goo. Jesus. You want to talk about memes? I'm late. What's good? Haynes Legacy in the building. What's good with Haynes? How you feeling, bro? Hope all is well. I respect Plan 100%. Okay, I read that. And shout out to Andrew Charles in the building if I ain't get your name the first time, man. Yeah, Carlos. Hey, he found out why they call him Sweet Hands, goddammit. Because he slapped the apple pie out of Mar Charlo. He slapped the sweet potato pie out his ass, goddammit. The Texas toast butter out his ass, goddammit. Jesus. He slapped the goddamn smothered crab legs out that nigga face. For real, man. God bless Plant for slapping some sense in Jamal. Jamal apologized after the slap. But no. I haven't even got to the other part yet, now. Let's not play around like that tweet ain't at the bottom. Let's not play that way now, Danny. You know what I'm saying? Caleb Plant tweeted, and then he wanted to press charges. Swear on my life, I can't make this shit up. Come on, y'all. Not Mar Charlo, not the Charlo twins, not the two rugged, Raggedy Ann twins of boxing. You trying to tell me he was the provocator, the instigator, and he wanted to press charges when he was the one touching the man on his beard and talking about white boy this and white boy that? Now you want to say you want to press charges? That's not the code. Well, in some circumstances, this is one of those circumstances where that was not the code, brother. That wasn't the code. Real talk. You're going to attract the wrong people when they start reading that you wanted to call and press charges on the man for slapping the taste out your mouth when you was fucking with him. That's wrong, man. That goes against the code, man. Danny said, I already read that. No, you're absolutely wrong. You're absolutely wrong. Talking about that outburst. That wasn't no outburst, bro. Listen, Hill. Salute to you for being in the bill. Listen. Hear me out on this, right? I don't want you to be a passenger of stupidity. All right? I don't want you to be a passenger, bro. Whether you respect what I'm telling you or not. But you cannot come over here and talk about an outburst. You're talking about older cats. I'm an older cat, right? Rick Glaser has been around since back in the day, you know? So He had every right to respond in the tone he did. You can call it an outburst and try to make it seem like he was wrong, but he was absolutely right for the outburst. He was absolutely right for picking up his tone because, truth be told, he was given receipts. His knowledge, he was absolutely giving correct replies. So you tell me this, Jannard, when you have a person that's trying to antagonize, and then look, you're trying to poke, and you get the energy that you're looking for. Not only that, I gotta wait till I get to that topic first. You know what I'm saying? You keep on speaking to a dude a certain way, acting like he don't know what he talking about. You know what I'm saying? Every time he breaks you down again, you know what I'm saying? Every time you think you want to put that kickstand back up, no, Rick Glaser made him put that kickstand back down and say, pay attention. Watch this. Just like Bo Mac told freaking Derrick James, watch this. You can't say that man was goddamn unacceptable. Come on, bro. Chill. What are you talking about? He was kicking some facts in the receipt, and all Marty had to say, guess what? No, that's not the way it is. That's not the code. So Marty can't get mad because Rick Glaser left the panel and he gonna try to call that man offline. No. That's what you wanted. I got to get to the rest. That's what you wanted. You wanted to try to embarrass the man and act like you knew everything. You know what I'm saying? That's what arrogance gets you. You try to look where I'm from. You don't go around here fucking with the OGs like that. It don't matter if you consider them an OG or not. Well, Rick Glaser is absolutely an OG in the game of boxing. I'll get back to that because you know I got the audio. You know I'm gonna do a reaction on that. I looked at the slap as great omen for the upcoming fight. He gave Texas a demonstration of the L they were about to take. It hyped me up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was beautiful. It was beautiful seeing all that seeing all that chaos. And they didn't get the ultimate win. The main event, they didn't get it. They didn't get it. Excuse me. Nelly said, salute WCS, salute the chat. Looked like Charlo's hat spun around. It almost spun around, but it didn't go 180 though. You know what I'm saying? It didn't even go 60 degrees. Like, bro, it barely moved. If that hat would have came off, ooh, wee. It would have been bad, y'all. What's going on, Ruben? Why you think the Charlos act out where they do? They have some cats are wired like that. You know, some dudes have had the opportunity to grow up, you know, around each other like that. Like you see some people with a lot of siblings, they act different. You get somebody, you know, you get some that they barely had any siblings. They might be the only child, or they may have a sibling that's much older than them in life, but yet they didn't grow up together. Their energy is different. You know, them twins been knocking each other's head for a long time. Now, I have to reference my boy Tony Harrison. He said, "Yeah, I know your brother been beating your ass for a long time." You know what I'm saying? Your brother been whooping your ass. Ma Charlo been whooping your ass for a long time. And you know, they grew up the way they grew up. I mean, they grew up around that energy. You know what I'm saying? They probably had some good times, you know, where people was saying, "Oh man, they go the Charlo twins right there, man. They look alike. Oh shit, identical twin." And then it had times that it was all dark. You know, most of the twins I ever met in life, they had problems. Maybe it ain't meant for a person to come out with another person that's damn near they identical. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it ain't meant to be. I have to go looking in the Bible and see what that's about, because I'm uneducated on that. Maybe it ain't meant to be to have somebody that's damn near like you. Maybe it ain't, because I wouldn't want to. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't want another nigga around here like me. I wouldn't want to see me playing out. You know what I'm saying? I say, God damn, I act the same way. Am I that fucked up? Unless you talking about, you know, female, you know, I mean, you know, that's a plus, but you know, when it comes down to the dark side, you know, you have somebody's plotting on you that look like you, or maybe trying to set you up, or somebody say, hey, that was you. That, you know what I'm saying? The twin shit can be bad. Maybe somebody say, hey, man, I saw you over there. No, that wasn't me, man. That was my twin brother. No, it was you. You don't have no, I mean, it can get very, very complex, man. It can get complex. They were supposed to be like that. Shout out to True Music Today, USA boxing coach Malachi in the building. How can you walk around in public after getting a taste slapped out of your mouth in front of your boy and your girl? I don't know, man. Like, man, I don't know. And then the level that they was on, you know what I'm saying? The level which they was on. They was on a whole nother level, man. You feel me? Like they was on a whole nother level. They was like amongst celebrities on fight week. They was on a whole nother level for that to play out the way it did. So it's no getting around that. I thought at one second, one glimpse, I thought it was Caleb's wife. I said, no, she's not that small. Plus, I don't think his wife would be jeopardizing her job. You know what I'm saying? Out there in the parking lot throwing hands, and she has a pretty good job. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention that you know, she's representing her husband. You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting it out there. But it was all bad once again for my people. We up here swinging and winging in the parking lot, man. You know, girls up here fighting. You got Marcharlo chasing after Caleb or whatever the case may be near the Sprinter vans. And they wonder why Bud Crawford got on stage and he was telling the people, hey, man, we don't have to do this. You know what I'm saying? Every time we go somewhere, you know, somebody have to get locked up. Somebody have to prove that they the baddest man around. You know, we got to goddamn pull weapons on each other. We got to go through the extreme to prove shit to one another. You know what I'm saying? We got to take a situation that requires non-lethal and we got to turn into something lethal. Hey, man, at least I put it out there. Bud tried. And then the nigga came out. That was it. He tried to speak peace, but when you got other people that's amped up and they got the same shades you got, sometimes they don't listen. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't listen, though. Sometimes they don't listen. Real talk. That's all I can say about that. Sometimes they don't listen. His technique said the Charlotte twins are identical, both soft. Oh man. So let me talk about what just happened over there, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me talk about that because y'all already know where I'm going with the Spence fans prove how weak they are, because these cats, you know, just really feel some type of way that I won't let up from rubbing it in they face on what went down July 29th. But let's talk about something that just went down. So, oh shit. So I have to put this disclaimer out there. In no way, shape, or form is it personal on what I'm reacting to with manager Marty, right? But I do know the game. I'm from the city. You know, I broke bread with this dude down here. You know, he seemed to be cool, but I grew up. You know what I'm saying? I was out there. I will allow certain things to happen so I can get a feel for how you are as a person. And then, you know, until it seems like you're trying to run that on me. And then I know, oh, okay. Well, they feel comfortable enough to try to run that game on me. Okay, cool. You know, I'm a good observationist. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good assessor. You know, most of the time. Sometimes I can't figure it out. But most of the time I'm good. You hear me say I'm good with my instinct. But Marty has a way of, you know, seemingly getting people to believe what he's doing. He doesn't have any ulterior motives. Like he will attempt to, when it's the business, he's in his line of work. When it comes to boxing, not so much. So Rick Glaser was on his panel, and he made it seem like, okay, Rick Glaser is going to come over there, and he's been waiting for that because he's this guy who's an advocate, and it looked like he's trying to earn some type of internship with PBC. He's set for the Al Heyman train, and Bud Crawford, who signed with Showtime to make that fight happen. You know what I'm saying? That 2-fight deal, contractual, whatever the case may be. Of course, he's going to be the target. He was the target at Top Rank, and then you have people that's just proving that he's the target, period. But Rick Glaser knows a lot of things on the inside. He was over there explaining. And I'm not going to go through the whole deal. I'm going to let the audio rip, right? But I knew his whole entire intention was to try to argue with a grown ass man. Rick Glaser is grown, and a lot of people initially was trying to tell me when I was interviewing Rick Glaser that he was a racist, and none of them people could give me any receipts. And the reason why they were saying he was a racist, all because he didn't agree about the Deontay Wilder theories that was going all around him on the YTC. That's all. You know what I'm saying? They was just mad based off what he was saying about Deontay Wilder. They couldn't produce no tweet, no nothing. He has a black wife who I've spoken to. Me and Rick Glaser talk on the phone. We've had conversations collectively talking about boxing, and you have people like Marty who believed that he was going to invite Rick on the show and make him seem like he was a kid, like he was going to talk and try to act like he didn't know what he's talking about. So when you get older, there's certain things you tolerate and certain things you don't. And I knew that when Rick Glaser commits to just saying, you know what, there's nothing in it for me to stay over here because you're trying to get somebody riled up and then you're going to play innocent. You hear people all the time talking about, they'll talk shit, and they'll be screaming and they'll be doing all that. And then time you pick up your tone, they talking about you emotional. Rick Glaser leaving the panel was absolutely what he should have did. Left the panel, because you have a person that wasn't who was absolutely getting educated because he wants to learn about your intricacies, right? So Rick Glaser was teaching him about the intricacies and the perspectives and the education of boxing. Oh, Rick Glaser was educating him all right. And Rick Glaser was educating the shit out of Marty. And Marty, and this is where it goes left for me. That me, if I'm getting educated, I'll tell somebody I'm getting educated. I tell the chat all the time, the hottest in the game. Educate me on some shit. I'm all up for learning. If I'm learning something, okay, I'll let you know. If you on that other shit, not so much. But when the man was correcting him and he was saying some shit that wasn't right, he was correcting him with the facts. You kept on saying, guess what? You'll go to them. You're moving the goalposts. That is not a debate when you move the goalposts over and over again, and you had no judges on there. So really, in my opinion, what Marty wanted to do is just argue. He wanted to sit there and make all those faces and roll his head and neck. You know what I'm saying? Like D-Town be doing all the time. You ever seen D-Town? That nigga be off camera on mute, right? And everything you say, he'll be shaking his head and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude dealing with Tourette syndrome or something. Like you be over there shaking his head and you ain't even talking to him. You just talking and stating your opinion. That nigga waving his hand, being all theatrical. Listen, Marty, if you're listening, you was wrong, bro. You put Rick Glaser on your show to argue with him, and you wanted to try to make that man look stupid. And you was talking about things you didn't know the full scoop on. You can't tie every opinion in boxing to the business. It's not gonna work with the people who know how to decipher through that shit. You can't do it. And then asking 100 questions and getting an answer And if the answer is something you wasn't expecting, you're supposed to say, okay, I agree. But this is where the con game come into it. If somebody tell you they agree with something just to move on to another point so they won't have to elaborate, that's not being sincere. That's not being genuine. If you say, okay, absolutely, understand, boom, boom, boom. He would say absolutely, or he agree, but yet come right behind it and try to act like he's correcting him on something. And at the end, you have to hear for yourself. Let me play the audio. You know I got the audio. Let's have this Marty and Rick Glaser reaction, y'all. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna keep it as authentic as possible. Marty, you played yourself, man. You want to talk about no, you're not gonna disrespect me on my panel, but no, that's exactly what you was doing to him because you basically wanted the invitation. You've been pursuing to get him to come on your panel, but yet when you keep on antagonizing for a situation, you got the results that you wanted, you got the response that you wanted, but then you turn around and say, "No, this is my panel. This is this. I'm for Philly. You ain't gonna disrespect." But you kept on trying to antagonize the dude. Everything he was telling you, you didn't want to hear. You wanted to act like he didn't know what he was talking about just for views, man. You're not the person initially that I thought you were, man. It's disappointing. You're not, man. I thought you was a cool cat, but really, you know what I'm saying? You're willing to sell yourself out. You basically did that. You sold yourself out just to become the very person that you was criticizing. What you're doing and what Blue is doing is no different. Let's kick this off, y'all.
And guess what, Rick? They still signed Terrence Crawford. They still signed Canelo. The fighters that's under their banner. No.
So I started at this point because I thought that's what it was picking up at. You know, so he wanted to. This is his whole point. You know, Crawford don't have shit to do with Rick Glaser, but they wanted to go back to old, stale, insipid, banal type of information. Antiquated, old, dusty. You know what I'm saying? Check this out. What they talking about BLK Prime.
They did what he can pay it now because he ran out of money. That's why they're only fighting.
So let me spin you up. Rick Glaser talked about how Al Hammond had $900 plus million and how he ran out of money because he was overpaying fighters that didn't deserve that type of pay. And he was pretty much saying that's why they're fighting as inactive, you know, as they are, because they're getting paid a lot of money back in the day. And now when it comes time for them to make the big fights, it's not enough money to pay them what they're worth. So, you know, when it comes to Marty, he believes the fighters should get paid, right? He considers himself to be the business of boxing. He believes the fighters should get paid the money. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if they earn the big stage, the fighters should get paid the money. Him and Rick Glaser disagrees on that.
Guess what, Rick? They still signed Terrence Crawford. They still signed Canelo. The fighters that's under their banner.
No. They did. No.
They still get paid.
Incorrect. Incorrect. Showtime signed them.
Huh?
You heard him? He said they signed Terrence Crawford and they signed Canelo. Marty was talking about PBC signed him. And Rick Glaser said, nope, incorrect. He didn't say no, the bullshit. He said incorrect. Showtime signed him. He said Showtime signed him. So right there, Marty, come on, man. You know, you invited this. Look, you invited this monster on your panel, and you wanted to act like I'm going to break him down to size, and I'm going to show my audience what it really is. No, what you did was get stepped on, because he just told you Showtime signed him, and you was trying to go behind what Rick said about Al Heyman not having money, and he blew through 900 plus million, and he was trying to explain to you the reason why, but he said, oh, they can sign Crawford for this fight with Errol Spence and sign Canelo, and then he said no, Showtime did.
Showtime. Let me explain. Let me explain. Don't interrupt me.
Go ahead.
Okay. Stephen Espinoza recently said that Terrence Crawford is not a PBC fighter or a Showtime fighter. He's got 2 fights and he's out of there. Okay. He may stay. He may go. Okay. The fact is, Showtime is financing everything PBC is doing now. Okay, PBC ran out of money. The reason why Jermell didn't fight the guy from Poland was because he thought he was going to get his typical $2.5 million or $3 million for the fight, and Heyman offered him $750, and then he refused to fight. Okay, that's what happened, because there's no money to fall back on to overpay these guys like there was before, because the $900 million dried up. That money ruined the business and sport, and it ruined the mentality of fighters wanting to fight competitive fights. Think he was going to get that Polish guy who can't fight a lick, okay, going to get $2.5 or $3 million to fight him. Heyman and Showtime wanted to pay him $750, and he balked. That's what's going on. What?
No disrespect. I'm asking you, how do you know how much they was trying to pay this guy?
So Marty goes behind instead of not acknowledging that Rick just dumped off a suitcase full of gems. He just dumped off a suitcase right there on your pinky toe. You know what I'm saying? Rick Glaser dropped off a goddamn suitcase, heavy suitcase too. I'm talking about you wouldn't even be able to check this in without paying $300, $400, $500 extra. He dumped a suitcase on your pinky toe, and he was explaining you who signed those 2 fighters you just mentioned, Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. He just told you. And he also gave you an example of a certain fighter, of why Jermell Charlo didn't fight this, that, and the other, because the guy thought he was going to get a big paycheck, and they was giving him under $1 million. He just gave you that. But then, you know, you turn around and you've been trying to turn it into an argument. So you want to question every process, because if we was to ask you what your sources, what your connect is, you wouldn't tell us. You would not tell us anything, but you're trying to get that information out of Rick through provoking him to basically pick up his tone. You're trying to irritate the guy. So listen what he said.
How do I know who's paying what? Trying to pay who?
Abu, come on, Rick. You smart.
You see what he did? Marty, you talking to a grown man like you don't even know Rick Glaser like that. You're trying your best just to make this man look like a clown. You was actually trying to make him look like a clown. So what do you expect him to do? You're talking to a grown-ass man. Like, I'm questioning how you brothers move. Like, who does that? Like, this man is much older than you and I. And you're up here trying to poke and make fun of and clown this man in front of your audience. And he's supposed to take it? I thought you was going to stick to boxing. Now you putting on a facade. Now you got the nice colored hair on, the big nose and the shoe. I mean, bro, you doing some things that's I didn't think you would go and stoop to. I do my ad-lib shit. But bro, if I was to invite this man on my panel, I'm not going to sit up there and think that if I continue to provoke this dude, I continue to try to agitate him, he's not gonna turn up the switch. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna flip it over and goddamn become irate. I can't expect that because I'm an older cat too. You know what I'm saying? I'm a human. You know what I'm saying? It comes a point in time where I get what you're trying to do. I understand what direction you're trying to take this shit.
I'm asking you a direct question. How do you know that Al Heyman and Steven was trying to pay this guy a certain amount of money?
Jamel Charlo told people. He told multiple people. I didn't hear him say that. That's why I'm asking you. Well, he was pissed off. Told people. Told multiple people, actually.
Well, Rick, it sounds like you know a lot about PBC. Why don't you just go work for them? You know enough about their business.
I don't need to work for PBC. My business is ultra successful. I don't.
So, you know, Marty's asking, you know, telling him why don't he go work for PBC. So there you have it, people. For some apparent reason, you know, Marty wants to become more so orientated with the PBC, you know what I'm saying, footprint. And anybody that's going against a PBC fighter or whatever the case may be, Al Heyman, you know, he's going to feel some type of way about it. And, you know, people disagree all the time. And that's what we have with Marty and telling, you know, Rick Glaser, if you know so much about it, PBC, why don't you go work for him? And to you, Marty, if you know so much about Bud Crawford, why don't you try to go work for him again since the first time didn't work out for you? Why don't you go ahead and try it again? Because you're telling this man, why don't he go work for PBC when y'all criticizing fighters like you really want to work for him, or you already had an experience that you thought that was going to work for you, but then now you're on an all-out vendetta to smear this man's name. You know what I'm saying? That's not G. That's not OG type. That's not the way you consider yourself a G. That's not code right there, bro. You telling this man why don't he go work for PBC when he dropping some gems on you? This man's been in the game for a long time. So instead of you acknowledging that with respect, you up here trying to, you know, denounce everything he's talking about. You trying to debunk it without even processing it. And truth be told, there, Marty, you're not even really listening. You really don't care when he was kicking those gems to you. All you want to do is just shut him down and take it to the point of where he left the show. That's what you really wanted. You want to argue. You want to turn it into a freaking circus. You know, that was your whole intent.
Do not need PBC. I don't need any one account. I have 47 clients. They're all happy, and I'm happy.
And I'll tell you what, I'm even happy that you're doing well. The thing about it, no problem. You're welcome. The thing about it that might sound misleading when you say that, and you did agree with me that, you know, promoters do have fighters that they're having up in the up and coming ranks to pay.
Absolutely, but they don't overpay their fighter to fight them.
Hey, the bottom line is the fighters got paid. Isn't that what you and I in the business for the fighters to get paid?
No, I'm not.
Oh, that's what I'm in the business to get. That's why I'm in the business.
Well, that's why I'm not a manager. That's why I'm not a.
So Marty said he's in the business for the fighters to get paid, but I haven't really heard no fighters bragging about how much they're getting paid that signed to Marty. I would like to know that, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to come to your panel to ask the question, but I'm just curious to know the fighters that you have signed. First of all, what are they getting paid? Because we know back in the day how managers used to rip off fighters. You know how let's just say, for example, you know, is 100,000 in the budget or whatever. I'm doing a wild, you know, outlandish type of example, right? And you know, out of the 100,000 budget, you know, the manager is telling the fighter it's a $40,000, $30,000 budget or something like that, way lower than what it's supposed to be, and this is the only amount you can get paid right here. You know, back in the day, the fighter was getting ripped off by the managers, You know what I'm saying? That's why the Ali Act came into effect. You know, it was getting ripped off. That's why people are puzzled about the whole spreadsheet over there on Al Heyman. Like, is he an advisor, manager, promoter? You know, I mean, you can't be all of them. But we all know that managers, still to this day, managers do rip off fighters. So when you hear a manager talk about he's for the fighter getting paid, no, you have to get paid because you're doing a lot of work for the fighter. So I don't know how you can try to convince the people that you all about the fighter getting paid. If that was the case, you should have the David McWaters freaking lineup. You should have at least about a cool 5 fighters, 10 fighters that's bragging about you.
Manager, thank you.
So you're not.
It's not healthy. It's not healthy for the sport when the fighter gets overpaid.
I know it's not. You know why? That's the same thing Bob Arum said. That's because y'all can't get a piece of it.
That's it. Please.
Come on, Rick. You know the business, Rick.
He said, now he's talking about another guy who's been in the game since the Don King era. And he said, y'all mad because y'all can't get a piece of it. Now look how this is going to be broken down. And Rick made another good point as to the schedule. Pay attention to how he put it out there as far as the schedule goes for Top Rank and PBC.
Totally incorrect.
We know the business, Rick. We know the business. I'm gonna protect the integrity of the business, but you know what I'm trying to say, Rick.
No, you're protecting integrity of business by not overpaying people ridiculous amounts of money.
Hey, the fighters got paid. It's all about the fighters getting paid, not the matchmakers.
But the fighters aren't fighting often enough to overcome the difference. That's the problem.
The fighters are not fighting enough to overcome the difference. So are we forgetting who else gets paid? So you're trying to tell me, hey, man, let's go on this crusade for the fighters to get paid. I understand the language now. Fighters can get paid. You know what I'm saying? A fighter can go into a fight and get paid $5. Is that fighter going to look at you like, dude, stop playing with me. You gave me $5 in ones. You acting like, and you put a rubber band on it. Are you trying to goddamn disrespect me? No, you got paid, didn't you? But it's $5. I know I suppose it got around $750, $1,000. Well, I got to take my cut, and it was different. It changed up. Who are you fooling? It seems like a goddamn a scheme, man. It seemed like, bro, it's a reason why you're not parading around a list of fighters. What are you doing? You keep saying you know the business. We know the business. Rick is not your buddy, your friend, your homie. You know what I'm saying? He's telling you, he's correcting you on stuff. No, that's incorrect. No, come on now. You and Bob Arum, your whole position is to drive a wedge in between PBC and Top Rank. And in the process of doing that, you want to make Rick seem like he don't know anything because he's very harsh and critical of Al Heyman. I can see if you had a picture with Al Heyman, but a lot of you black men that's on this PBC never even seen him. And you're all advocating for somebody that has shown you he's not even going to have a card with a black undercard on there. You might have a fighter, you might have a fight or two, but come on, the Charlos did they freaking fight on the same night, was very unsuccessful, and they had nothing but Mexicans on the undercard, Latinos, other foreign fighters on the card, and this was on Juneteenth. Okay, let me keep going.
Hey, they making it happen. Hey, and guess what? You seen what Showtime did? Like you said, they opened their checkbook up and they got the deal done. Isn't that the same thing that Top Rank does, Rick? They get the money from ESPN.
So what Marty just did was say, see, Showtime, they opened up their checkbook and got the deal done, right? But initially, when Rick Glaser was talking about how Al Heyman is blew through 900 plus million, you know, Marty wasn't really believing that. So in his disbelief and unwillingness to hear what Rick Glaser just told him, he turned around and said, didn't they sign Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez? He wasn't paying attention. Rick said, no, Showtime signed them. So now he's returning and he's trying to spruce it up a little bit. He say, at least Showtime opened up They checkbooks.
Absolutely, 100%. There's 100%.
What's the
But
problem?
the difference is Top Rank does 66 shows a year. What does PBC do? 18?
And guess what? You know this, and I said this before.
This is what I can't do, right? When a person is not willing to check the box and say, you know what? Okay, good point. At least good point. 2 words, good point. Good point. But how are you supposed to have a so-called business dialogue with a person that's on the same genre as you are, but higher? You and Rick ain't on the same level. So he's doing you a favor by pretty much educating you, because it's good that you always consider your chat to be educated and talk about the intricacies, and providing their perspective on the sport of boxing. And right now, he's educating you and providing you with the intricacies and the perspective on areas that you are uneducated in. You know what I'm saying?
ESPN budget is not bigger than Showtime's, and you know that, Rick.
ESPN budget is much bigger than Showtime's.
They don't get paid over there like Showtime and them do.
So here we go again. Marty getting blasted out of the water. He said, and he didn't even tell you the budget. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even tell you all what the budget was. He just said, like he talking to the homie. Showtime. He don't have the numbers. He don't know the numbers. He don't have the answers. He just said Showtime budget was bigger than ESPN. And then Rick said it is. And he's going to explain.
What are you talking about?
The fighters that fight on ESPN Plus and regular ESPN do not get paid for the same price point over there at Showtime pay-per-view. We both know that. I know you cool with them over there. You did business.
No. You're talking about apples and oranges. You're talking about a company that only does 18 shows a year and PBC and Showtime, when you're talking about a company that does 66 shows a year in Top Rank.
They can do 66 shows. Their fighters are getting paid less. Hello.
Okay.
You just said
but you're looking at it from a Democratic standpoint. I'm looking at it from a Republican. I'm about the business. You're about the sport, the fighter.
No, I'm about the business.
See how Rick just called him? Oh my God. Did y'all hear just what happened? Because Marty is he's just rambling. He's all over the place. Rick Glaser just netted him. He just netted him bad with a harpoon, y'all. He harpooned him, then he put him in the net and just let him squirm. You heard what he just said? Then Marty said he was all about the fighter. I'm all about the fighter. Rick Glaser said. Oh, you're looking at it from a wrong perspective. You're looking at it from a Democratic perspective. I'm looking for a Republican. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about the business of boxing, and you're about the fighter. And Marty turns around and say, no, I'm about the business. See what I'm talking about? I haven't even went over this. Look, this is the second only when I was recording this, all I was doing is just listening. I'm going right off the rip, off the cuff on this shit, because people come in here and say, oh, you don't know about the business. I don't have to know about the business because that's not my area. But Rick Glaser just schooled him. He said, hey, I'm looking at it from a Republican standpoint of the business of boxing. You're looking at it from the fighters. And that is true, because Marty confirmed that he was all about the fighter. They need to get paid, right? So he's up here just shooting the shit, as we call it in the military. You're just talking. You're just trying to play with people in the chat and act like like you're going to make an example out of Rick. And the person that's being made an example out of is you, brother. He's killing you right now.
No, you're not, because you're siding with you're saying the fighter's overpaid. It's all right. No, it's fucked up the business. You don't see it.
I see it. What it is let's keep it 100, Rick.
So here we go. The shucking and driving and shit. Talking about let's keep it 100. The fluff. You know what I'm saying? The fluff. Not acknowledging that you just got caught up again, bro. Bro, you just got caught up again, man. That shit is bad. He said, no, you didn't. Like as old as Rick Glaser is, he's older than me, right? His memory is still on point, dog. His memory is still on point because he said, no, you're not. You was all about the fighter getting paid. And then he turns around and says, oh, let's keep it 100, Rick. How you been keeping it 100? Because every time Rick dropped that suitcase on your pinky toe, you act like it don't hurt. That shit hurt. Now you got to come back with something else. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to come back with something else and act like it never happened. No, it happened, bro. That shit's swollen.
You got 40 years in the business and you've been around since Don King, right? You've done work for Don King, correct, Rick?
Absolutely.
All right, then. So you understand the economic situation that fighters have been in for all of these years.
You're missing the point. You're missing the point. You're missing the point. Let me talk. You're missing the point.
You just cut me off.
You're saying what you're saying is.
Let me finish my statement, Rick.
Okay,
let me finish my statement. I got it.
Finish.
We're gonna be fair here. What I'm talking about, because you're saying is effing up the business when fighters are getting quote unquote overpaid by your standard, not by the standard of the budget, but by your now and the competitor standard, right?
No, no, they're overpaid by the result. That's why they're only fighting once every 14 months.
There we go again. Rick is on his shit. He said they overpaid by the result. See, when you get a question, and you get people who ask leading questions, right? A lot of times they're not right. A lot of times they're not right. They just thinking they're sounding a certain way that's going to impress whoever the listener is. And then also it's like setting traps. They can say some wrong shit and say, right. This is child's play. You understand what I'm saying? This is considered child's play. You know, people try to do this shit. Like, it's certain people that I'll listen to in certain perspectives of boxing. Real talk. I can listen to them and I know it's going to be something that I'm learning. Seriously, I can listen to them. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's talking about the history on the boxer side of the house or whatever, but we'll get to that later. Let me get back to this shit.
No problem. But we know in this business, and you know better than I do, being in this business for over 40 years, working with Don King, Bob Arum, and the rest of those guys who have a lot of tenure in this business, that so many times the fighters were not getting paid their just due, and the promoter was eating off the fatted calf. They were the only ones benefiting financially, and the fighters wasn't. You agree with that, right?
No, I don't.
Absolutely not. How can he say the promoters was eating off when the manager was ripping off the fighter? The manager worked for the fighter, right? Come on, even I know that shit. So who's working for? Is the fighter working for the manager? The manager working for the fighter? Have you not heard of certain fighters being on the shelf because of the manager? Did we not see the shit that was going on with Bruce Ennis that's in his backyard for a while before he was able to spread his wings with Cameron Duncan? You know what I'm saying? The shit he was locked in with Victory Boxing Promotion and all that other shit. So he's talking about the fighters are getting ripped off from the promoter. Come on, man. You know damn well you protecting shit. You're trying to paint the light of these managerial positions in boxing as if these managers don't rip off the fighter too. Not all of them, but managers rip off the freaking fighter, man. It's been like that for the longest we can remember. And that's why Rick said, no, that's not correct.
Agree with that at all. Mike Tyson got $400 million. He went broke on his own volition because he's overspent.
He got $400 million.
Oscar De La Hoya is worth $300 million today. Aaron paid him very well. He saved his money.
No, I'm not talking about the management of their finances. I'm talking about the contracts that lock these fighters in, and they're getting paid under the economic standard. And
under what? Under what?
Bro, what are you talking about? Under the economic standard? What economic standard? Minimum wage? What are you talking about? Economic standard? What is the economic standard for boxing? You trying to tell me there's a minimum wage? Real talk. Does fighters work consistently throughout the year just because it's an annual sport? When they're not in the ring, do they get paid? What is the economic standard?
When Terrence Crawford fought Sean Porter, he paid him $6 million and $4 million respectively. Heyman took the 4. He couldn't even go to purse bids. Did Aaron overpay him?
Terrence Crawford was under contract with Top Rank. We already know what his contract stated. What I'm basically getting at is, for so many decades, these promoters have been making buku money hand over fist, and the fighter was left out to dry, making quote unquote under their market value. And you know that to be true.
No, I don't know that to be true at all. Ali and Frazier got $5.5 million a piece. Way back then? That's like fucking $50 million today.
Right.
What are you talking about?
How many Alis did we have to make that kind of money? Ali.
There was a lot of guys. There was a lot of guys. There was Frazier, Foreman, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran. They all made millions of dollars.
Here we go with the guess what? Marty's unwilling to give this man his props. He said it was one Ali. You know what I'm saying? Rick Glaser tried to provide you with an example of back in the day of a fighter that was getting paid, a notable fighter. You know what I'm saying? A notable fighter. But yet he say, oh, that's everybody's not Ali. That's just one person. And then Rick Glaser turned back around and talk about the Fraziers and the Leonards. And then Marty goes around and guess what? See, he's unwilling. Look, an individual like him, he don't want to ever be wrong. You know, he comes off as like he's trying to act like that he's providing equity in the conversation. He has something to offer, so to speak. He pretends like he's coming to the conversation and having a dialogue with equity. But really, his equity is he's trying to pull everything that you know you have. He's trying to convince you that you have very minimal effort because you're talking and have a conversation with him. You know, when you're talking to me, you have damn near 3% equity. You know what I'm saying? 3%. That's it. I have the 97%. I know. Well, how's that? Because I have longer tenure than you, so my appraising value should be higher. No, he's going to keep on moving it and moving, not giving you credit for anything. And Rick Glaser is making some good points. Like, what are you talking about? You're talking about the economic standard, y'all. Y'all do y'all research. Find out what the economic standard is in boxing. Do fighters get paid based off the economic standard? And whenever inflation hits, right? Do fighters get elevated pay just because they step in the ring and gas is like $4.50, $5? Do fighters get elevated freaking pay? Do they stipend go up? Does it? Do they blend right in with the economic standard?
Right, but that was an era. Let's use Ali since you used Ali. Ali was the first one, and then you had Sugar Ray Leonard who made $40,000 in his first fight. The next era. So it's always one or two fighters that make the big bank in each era. What I'm talking about overall, from the perspective of the business of boxing, overall, all of these fighters were not making the money that they really earned. They were being lowballed. And so what I'm saying to you is, if a fighter's getting overpaid according to your standard or the business standards of boxing, so what? They're putting their life on the line.
You're missing the point going back to your original statement about making superstars. If you're paying a guy $3 million and he's fighting over every 14 months, he gets lost in the shuffle of everything else, of all sports. It doesn't mean anything. If you're fighting 2 to 3 times a year and you're taking close to market value, let's say you're taking $1 million to $1.5 million. That's how you build a star. When Floyd was coming along, he was fighting three times a year. Oscar fought 5 times in 1 year and fought 3 and 4 times most years. That's how you make a star. Okay?
Right. I agree with you. I agree with you. Mike Tyson did it too.
With that economic, with Heyman's economic, whatever, I don't know if it's called a plan or what you call it. When you're fighting once every 14 months, you can't make stars. They're out too much. So instead of paying a guy $3 million once every 14 months, you fight him twice a year and you pay him $1.5 million a piece, and you build up a star. That's how you do it.
PBC,
well, they're not doing it.
I got you. PBC have built more stars than Top Rank and De La Hoya's company, Golden Boy Promotions, put together. And Rick, even you know that.
No, you're wrong.
Here we go again. Here we go again. Marty's freaking angle is to talk what he believes he knows, even if it's dead ass wrong. He want to talk about the whole situation that brought them to court on a certain individual stealing fighters from Golden Boy, and even Leonard Ellaby had mentioned this, and it absolutely trumps what Marty was the point he was trying to make. It's just senseless at this point. I mean, it's just senseless to know that Rick Glaser is absolutely sharp and astute to every freaking move this guy's talking about. You know that, right? You know that. No, it's like a con game. Marty's up here just talking to a person that know the business, and you're up here and you letting your errors be shown. You're showing your errors, man. You're showing your improficiency.
Golden Boy's the one that made all those guys stars. Don't look at me funny like that.
I'm looking at you funny like that because Al Heyman had all those guys under contract over there with De La Hoya, Rick.
They were De La Hoya's fighters. He stole the fighters and had to pay a lawsuit of
and guess what? He lost that lawsuit. Golden Boy lost that lawsuit, Rick.
No, they didn't.
You know that.
No, they didn't. You're talking about two different lawsuits.
So what lawsuit you talking about?
The $40 million when he sued Richard Schaefer and Heyman. He lost 40. The reason why he lost the second, he paid $40 million. The reason why he lost the second lawsuit is because he already won the first one. And once you won the first one, it alleviated the second one automatically. It was tossed out for that reason.
And guess what?
Okay.
There we go. And guess what? Oh my God. Rick, you just broke. Oh my goodness. You talking about a femur break? Rick he's up here breaking femurs. He's up here talking just mumbo jumbo, just rambling on about shit that's been talked about in general sidebar conversation in gyms, nightclubs, freaking bars. You know what I'm saying? Private chats. You're exposing where you're deficient at when it comes to the sport. And every fighter, listen to me. If you're a fighter, please go over there and sign with manager Marty, right? So he can get you paid, because he say he's for all the fighters getting paid. Now you might want to do your due diligence and check out what the budget's like and see if you're getting paid per what the economical standard is, the economic standard is, right? Because the budget is 100,000 and you getting paid 4,000 out of that budget. You might want to ask yourself, Scooby-Doo.
Don King stole fighters too. You know this is the nature of the business. If a fighter
he's going around in circles,
they just go with him. You know that.
No,
right?
there's such things called contracts.
I agree with you. Okay. I agree with you. Oh, I agree with you. Everybody got to be obligated to their contract. What I'm saying is,
man, he's sounding like a hustler. Like he sound like a dude that's out here on the corner just hustling people, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm disappointed, Marty. I ain't gonna lie. I'm disappointed in you, bro, because Rick Glaser is pretty much laminating facts. He's laminating facts to you, nice and glossy print, and you're unwilling. You say, "Guess what?" And guess what? No, that's hustler. No, you're hustling the dialogue. You trying to hurry up and abort the fact that he just made to you and go to making your point next, because he just made a valid point. He's providing you laminated facts.
It's still up to the fighters. And when the fighters do that, it does put the competition in limbo. All I'm saying is that PBC fighters are not the only one fighting once a year. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking, Rick. Let's take Terrence Crawford over at ESPN. When he fought Sean Porter, right? He fought once a year. Nobody say nothing about him. He fought Cal Brook, and then a year later he fought Sean Porter.
That's not true. That's not true. Let me talk. He turned down fights. He turned down fights.
Who?
Terrence Crawford did. Not because of the opponents, because he didn't want to fight.
Name two fighters he turned down. Can you please?
He didn't. I just said to you, he didn't turn down fighters. He turned down fights, opportunities, dates.
Give us two.
See, this where Rick leaves. Did you hear what he was trying to say? Let me explain to you where it went all the way off the cliff, because Marty is not listening. What kind of broad question are you asking somebody when he's telling you that Terrence Crawford turned down fights and he said, give me 2? That was so idiotic, brother. I mean, look, I'm feeling bad. You say you do what you do in your genre, but you've been exposed too much from an older dude. You should never try to walk up on a cat like this and you think you're gonna make an example out of him, bro. And then when he checks you, the way he checked you and leave your panel, you up here talking about Philly. This has nothing to do with Philly. This has everything to do with what you just was taught again. Rick Glaser said Terrence Crawford turned down fights. You say name 2. He said, what are you talking about? He was turning down fight dates. He was turning that, and you're busy talking about being one-track mind. You think he's talking about fighters. You want him to name two. What are you talking about, 2? He's telling you he's turned down fight dates. DATES, dates. You're not listening, bro. You just want to argue at this point. And that's why Rick Glaser abandoned the mission, because it was no longer conducive for him to be on your panel, because obviously you wasn't talking about the business of boxing.
Give us 2
I
fights.
just said, are you fucking stupid? Are you a clown?
Hey, Rick.
So at this point, Rick is turned up. He said, are you effing stupid? Are you a clown? Marty keeps asking, give me 2. He just said Terrence was turning down fight dates. He told you fight dates. He's turning down fight dates. You don't need to know freaking the dates. If he tell you 2 dates, it's still fight dates. You're not listening, bro. What does it mean? We're talking about, to back it up, to moonwalk backwards a little bit, right? You was talking about fighters at PBC fighting once, and then you want to say, okay, while we on it, let's go to Terrence Crawford, because this is his primary target. This is his primary target reference, right? He was, Terrence Crawford fought once a year, and he's like, that's not true per what you're trying to make it into. He's saying Terrence Crawford wasn't fighting once a year due to the standard that Rick was making about PBC. He was saying that Terrence Crawford turned down fight dates as the reason why he wasn't fighting more during that time, that year. He was turning down fight dates. And look, Terrence Crawford is a powerful human being, the way these guys are mad. And Rick Glaser, he launched off the he launched the rocket ship, bro. It's over. You know what I'm saying? He can only, a man like that who's kicking, he's trying to be respectful, and you're trying to pretend like you're on his level. But he said he turned down fights. And then you talking about name 2 then, huh? Name 2. He turned down fight dates. Name 2. And then Rick just lost. He said, are you fucking stupid?
Said to you, listen to me. I said to you, he turned down fights, not fighters.
Rick, I'm gonna stop your mic right now, bro. I don't know what you're doing nobody else's channel, Rick. Don't unmute. You better jump off. You better jump off, Rick. You better jump off. I ain't them.
What does that mean exactly, Marty? Well, man, come on, bro. Man, this is shit right here, man. I swear it makes us look like some of the most ignorant human beings sometimes. Because now you're talking about something that's not going to happen. If you see Rick Glaser in person, you're not going to do anything to him, period. What are you talking about? Whoa. You sat up here and poked Rick Glaser for forever and a day, bro. You kept on antagonizing, trying to goddamn get up on this skin. You try to splinter the conversation. You wanted him to get irritated. That's all you wanted to do, man. He was dropping laminated facts to you. You didn't like it. You ignored him. You brushed him off. Knowing inside, you was like, oh, I ain't know that shit. That's a good point. But, but what you want to show is you want to make it seem like to your audience that, hey, that didn't mean anything to me. You're trying to hold down a hustler's mentality. You're trying to act like it didn't affect you. You're trying to keep the same expression on the inside. You know you're getting lit up. And then when he goes off on you and asks you, are you stupid? Man, there's been people that say worse shit on there. Come on now. At least he didn't call you the N-word. You act like that man called you the N-word, Marty. Stop playing. Where's your dignity, for Christ's sake?
Yeah, he said all that and jumped off. He said all that and jumped off. I ain't them. I represent my city well. I represent myself well. I ain't them.
Who is them?
Ain't nobody gonna come on this platform and talk crazy.
Wait for it, y'all.
I muted that bull for he did the right thing. He jumped right off. He jumped right off.
Man, I'm just gonna tell you what he said next. He said, I guess you can do that because you got a black wife. People, that right there is extremely disappointing because I like a good debate. I ain't gonna lie, I like a good debate. But this is one-sided, just like Crawford beating out Errol Spence. I think it was worse. I think the freaking shots Rick Glaser was landing, it was too much. You know what I'm saying? Harvey Doc didn't even have to get a count. I said, hey, Harvey, and don't worry about it. I got you. You can sit over there. I'm going to work. I'm going to get some experience. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to start the count. Let me see. Let me check the timekeeper. She on 4 already? Shit. Let me goddamn start back at 2 because he ain't getting up, goddamn it, Harvey. He ain't getting up for them knockdowns Rick Glaser was giving him, bro. He ain't getting up, bro. So the timekeeper is a little bit high. I'm going to start it back at 2 just to prove my point. 2, 3, no movement, no life, huh? You can't get mad at Rick for leaving the panel. You can't sit up here and say, oh, I'm going to mute your mic now. Oh, my God. Come on, Marty. No, brother. You can't mute the mic on a person that you was antagonizing like that, bro. You was BSing the man. You was treating him like he ain't shit. Like you really wanted to prove that you was at a higher standard. Not a higher standard. You was at an elevated level when it came to the boxing business. Like you pretend to be on the YTC. That's all you did, man. And you know what? And listen, you didn't give that man no credit for teaching you today. This man taught you for free. This man taught you for free and you know it, brother. He explained and broke down and he caught you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was catching everything you was throwing, bro. It wasn't even close. I think you was throwing fastballs and them joints was like 35 miles per hour. Real talk. I think Rick Glaser was up there dancing that home plate and shit, doing the stanky leg, goddamn the electric slide, all that shit. And he still hit your shit out the park. It was incredible. He told you, bro. You wanna zone in on Terrence Crawford. Dude, what is y'all infatuation with this black man? This dude is not even signed with PBC, and you all are absolutely infatuated with that dude. Look, y'all. I can't look. It's not for me to investigate. They are infatuated. This man say, and while we at it, Crawford, he fought once a year. That's not true. You're trying to put it in the same standard for which I was talking about over here. I'm telling you, fighters are fighting once a year due to the pay and everything else. And you're talking about building up superstars. Wouldn't it be better to pay them less money and fight more frequently to build up their superstar status? Because if you out of the ring and the fans don't really know what you have going on, how are you going to become a superstar per se? You know what I'm saying? When you're climbing the ladder, you have to fight on the frequency, right? You have to fight on the frequency. And Marty wasn't even listening to anything he's saying. He was like, well, you know, Terrence Crawford fought once a year. Everything is a Terrence. It's almost like they are stalking Crawford on this YTC with their attention that they're giving them. Like this, it's almost weird. Like Rick Glaser switched that shit. No, that's not true. You're trying to say that Top Rank was only allowing him to fight once a year. No. They was offering Terrence Crawford fights. He was turning down fights. Name two he turned down then. He did not say he was turning down fighters, because then he would say, oh. Guess what? Guess what? So you saying he was ducking? He was ducking. That's what he was ducking. He said he was turning down fights. F-I-G-ites. Fights. F-I-G-ites. Fights. Jesus Christ, man. And you say he was trying to play gotcha Rick. I know, man. Come on, man. Y'all heard that shit, man. Rick should have jumped off of there, bro. Come on. You know, I'm be straight up and frank, man. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing, dog. I'm not gonna lie. That's embarrassing. All them people over there that you know that wasn't seeing that, like they was just over there blocking people and timing them out. That was absolutely embarrassing. That what insight did the listeners get from every time Rick correct you on some real shit? Because guess what? Rick told you what you were saying was incorrect. How many times did you turn around and tell Rick he was incorrect? No, you can't visit areas that you're not proficient in to tell somebody that's experienced as Rick that he's wrong. You stayed away with it. You said, oh, you know, it's two hands in there. Oh, my fault, my bad. He was showing both hands inside his palms. He had them up. Oh, my bad. I'm off that. I ain't touching that right there. You didn't tell Rick he was incorrect. You brought him over there for a debate, brother. If you brought him over there to debate and you wanted to turn it into a war, then when he told you was incorrect, you should have turned right back around and say, no, I'm not incorrect, and here's why. Just like the people. When you say the people have an identity, right? So what Rick was providing you when he told you you were incorrect, he provided you how do you substantiate it? How do you prove your evidence? And he gave you the criteria to prove why he was saying that you was incorrect. Based off what you initially said that was incorrect and wrong, he dressed it up and told you, this is why I'm telling you you're incorrect. You never did that, brother. All you did was you try to come back and say, hey, Rick, you know what we know in the business. Don't nobody want to hear that Philly hustling talk shit. You brought this man in here to prove to the people that he's not on your level. You brought Rick Glaser on here to prove ineptitude. That's what you brought this man on here for. And you failed at that. Look, the jig is up, bro. All the bumbling. You can't go in here to somebody who's been in the game longer like Rick Glaser and play around with that man. It's not only just embarrassing to you as a content creator over there, it's embarrassing for black men in general. Because the first thing you want to do when he called you dumb, which wasn't a racial epithet, you say something about his black wife. Nigga, you sound weak. You look weak. You mentioned his black wife and y'all talking about boxing. That shows how weak we are. We quick to make it about race when we're wrong with a person of a different ethnicity, a different race, right? It's easy out. It's an easy out. Oh, I brought him over here to make him look like a fool, but no, it didn't work out quite my way. So when he called you what he said, when he got pissed off, you didn't like that. Oh, no, we ain't doing. I'm gonna mute your mic. Oh my God. I can sit up here and antagonize somebody. I can poke the bear over and over and over again. And excuse me. And time somebody gets tired of you poking the bear and they react because you're just way off the scale. You're not even on that level, man. You know what I'm saying? An elevator won't even take you up to the level that Rick was on. You get to the top floor, they say, sir, you have to take this helicopter and go even higher. It's a helo pad over here at about 1,000 kilometers. You know, up that away. I said 1,000 miles. Yeah, you still got 1,000 miles to go. How can you put yourself in that situation, Marty? That's not cool, man. Because you know what I'm saying? All he said, let me let the people hear once again what set this man off. All right.
Better jump off, Rick.
Let me talk. He turned down fights. He turned down fights.
Who?
Terrence Crawford did. Not because of the opponent, not because of the opponent, because he didn't want to fight.
Name 2 fighters he turned down.
Dude. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear what just happened? No, maybe y'all didn't hear it. I know I got some. Look, I got the hottest chat in the game. I know you all heard what Rick Glaser explained. He articulated it. He said, not opponents. You didn't hear it. I'm going to assume you didn't hear it. Let me go back because this is a perfect example, man. God damn it, my people. I swear to God. Hold on for a second.
Can you please?
He turned down fights.
Who?
Terrence Crawford. What he can pay it now because he ran out of money.
Hold on for a second. Hold on.
Turned down fights.
Who?
Terrence Crawford did. Not because of the opponent, not because of the opponent, because he didn't want to fight.
Name 2 fighters he turned down.
He said, not the opponents, not because the opponents, not the opponents, not because the opponents. And this dude is so hype, believing that he has a point. Oh my God, crash and burn. Oh my God, crash and motherfucking burn, dog. Let me play that again. Obviously, y'all didn't hear what Rick said. All right.
You please.
He didn't.
Who?
Terrence Crawford did. Not because of the opponent, not because of the opponent, because he didn't want to fight.
Name 2 fighters he turned down.
He said, name 2 fighters he turned down. He said, not because of the opponents, not the opponents, not because of the opponents. Who's the opponents? The opponents would be what? A fighter that Terrence Crawford was going to face. The opponents. So he said he turned down fights. Rick Glaser said he turned down fights. Not the opponents, not because of the opponents. Not the opponents, not because of the opponents. He turned down fights. And Marty says, who? Name 2. Oh my God. Jesus. And that's why Rick Glaser said, man, he lost it.
You please.
He didn't. I just said Crawford did.
All I'm saying is that PBC fighters are not the only one fighting once a year. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking, Rick. Let's take Terrence Crawford over at ESPN. When he
wait on this now, he walks himself into a bear trap, dog. A bear trap.
Sean Porter, right? He fought once a year. Nobody say nothing about him. He fought Cal Brook, and then a year later he fought.
It's not
Porter.
True. That's not true.
He turned.
Let me talk. He turned down fights. He turned down fights.
Who?
Terrence Crawford did. Not because of the opponent, not because of the opponent, because he didn't want to fight.
Name 2 fighters he turned down. Can you please?
He didn't. I just said to you, he didn't turn down fighters. He turned down fights, opportunity, dates.
Give us 2. Give us 2 fights.
I just said, are you fucking stupid? Are you a clown?
Hey, Rick.
I said to you.
Oh shit! He kept on saying name 2. Oh my God! And they don't think I be on my shit, man. I tell these cats I be tuned in, man. Let me get to the chat. Change your dress 402, man. Shout out to you on deck. He said exactly, bro. What does Marty have against Bud? Was Marty turned down by Bud? Who are the fighters Marty is managing? This dude is something else. That's a good question. Who, y'all? They be acting like when I be mentioning these guys' name, it be personal. It's not personal. It's just the media. It's the media. It's the creation. It's the content. That's all. It's no hate. It's no personal shit. But dude, you're not making any sense, man. On you have this vendetta, you know what I'm saying, to keep on mentioning Crawford's name. You know what I'm saying? I talk about Spence because Spence was going in there to face Crawford. I talk about all his public record. You act like you know everything about Crawford, like it's personal. Like you used to be with his family and you used to sleep on the couch and he kicked you out or something without any notice. Like, hey man, you gotta go. You gotta go. Man, what are you talking about? We hadn't agreed. You gotta go. That wasn't it. You act like he said he was gonna buy you a car and you was gonna be his manager for life, man. Once he get his first championship and he turned his back, he said, no, I changed my mind. Man, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Nah, bro. Man, I told Marty already. I said, somebody told me that you mad because Bud didn't want to work with you, bro. And for you and everybody else to be out here on this vendetta against Bud Crawford, and Rick Glaser told you, I'm not talking about an opponent, not because of the opponent. It's, he bitches talking about the fight dates. And he said name 2. What are you doing? Why would he have to name? Bro, oh my God, crash and burn. It's over. Marty was reaching. I'm telling you, MJ24, salute to you. Man, y'all hit the like button, man. Educating him on slave contracts. I don't know what he talking about slave contracts. Look, let me put this out there too, right? So the fighter's supposed to get all this money. So the fighters have to sign a contract with who? Most of the time it's a promoter, right? So the fighter supposed to have who? A manager. The manager is the person that makes sure everything is good for the fighter, right? So how can the promoter lock these fighters into a contract if manager Marty is supposed to be the link to stop this from happening? So in his world, the promoters never should be used in this type of light. When he talks about it, him being all about advocating for the fighter getting all the money in the world, no one, when it comes to Marty, he should have a surplus of fighters waiting in line in Philly to sign up for him because he's all about the money for the fighter. It's the business. So if that is indeed the case, then why isn't there more recognition when it comes to the business and you signing fighters? Because the link between the promoter and the fighter is the manager. The manager have to be up there communicating, transmitting, checking over things and making sure everything is okay, because they get paid too. They get paid so much that they don't have to go hold mitts. They don't have to go in the ring and fight. It's the fighter that does that. And if in 2023, if we're listening to him talk about it's all about the fighter getting paid, that's the good deal. Why don't you have a long list of fighters then? Because you're going to get paid. You're going to get paid, Marty. You're trying to damn hustle the people. You was up there talking to Rick like you was trying to hustle him out of freaking knowledge and shit. Like you was trying to fast talk him. You embarrassed us, bro. Real talk. You straight up embarrassed us, man. The reason why you embarrassed us, it wasn't so much that you was getting laminated facts slapped on you, man. He was giving you glossy pics. Glossy. He was spitting the facts to you. But at the end, when he said, are you dumb or whatever he said, right? You try to say, no, we ain't going to do that over here. You better run. You better run. Come on. Or what? Let's listen to what Rick told him. My people, man, we got to do better than this shit, bro.
Listen to me. I said to you, he turned down fights, not fighters. Not because the opponents, because he didn't want to fight.
Name 2 fighters he turned down. Can you please?
He didn't. I just said to you, he didn't turn down fighters. He turned down fights, opportunity, dates.
Give us 2. Give us 2
I
fights.
just said, are you fucking stupid? Are you a clown?
Hey, Rick.
I said to you, listen to me.
Hey,
I
Rick.
said to you, he turned down fights, not fighters.
Rick. I'm going to stop your mic right now, bro. He said all that and jumped off. This
is embarrassing.
I represent my city well. I represent myself well. I ain't dumb. Ain't nobody gonna come on this platform and talk crazy to me. I muted that bull for he did the right thing. He jumped right off.
My fault, y'all. I had to stop laughing. That was embarrassing. He said, are you effing stupid? Now, you're trying to tell me, Marty, just because he asked you, were you stupid and were you a clown? A clown is unidentifiable to people except those in a circus. Outside of a circus, it's up to perception, right? Right? It's up to perception, right? So if you don't consent to being a clown, how can it affect you so much? He didn't call you the N-word. He said, are you fucking stupid? Are you a clown? Did you give consent to yourself that you were a clown? A clown is light. Are you a clown? It's light. If somebody say you a bitch ass nigga, he called you the N-word with the ER on, I can see. But dude, look who brought race into it. Look who fucking brought race into it, brother. You did. You took him calling you goddamn, are you fucking stupid, and calling you a clown. You brought it to his wife. You said, I don't know what you're doing. I'm not over here. It's because you got a black wife. See, that's what I don't like about my people when it comes down to it. If you lose a fight, man, you lose a fight. Don't sit up here and say, I'm ready to throw it all out the window. I'm talking about doing all this shit, on my platform. I'm enjoying the viewership and everything like that. But let Rick Glaser, who you've been pursuing this dude for weeks, let him come over there and school your ass. And the first thing you do, Marty, you sit up there and bring race into it because he said, are you effing stupid? Are you a clown? Black people allowing words to affect them, to issue threats, to want to throw it all away. I represent my city. What your city got to do with your choices? What your city got to do with you? You didn't get with your city to plan this shit. You got with yourself. And you've been getting with whoever else that dude was because you say, oh, I've been waiting for this. And finally, we've been waiting for weeks and all that. And you think you're talking to children, bro. Nobody got time for the hustle game, the fast talking shit. Don't nobody have time for that. We talking to grown ass adults, man. Who you hustling? You act like you trying to sell a fake pair of J's and then turn around and say, well, they had the name on them. Still the same thing. It's up to you to find out if they're authentic or not. The man said, are you effing stupid? Are you a clown? He asked you that. He asked you, he presented the question like you love doing, Marty. You love asking questions. Rick Glaser asked you, are you effing stupid? If you're not, no. Are you a clown? No. But the first person to throw race into it, like I hear all the time on these channels, is race baiting all the time. You sit up here and mention his black wife. What business is it of yours to know who the man is married to? That's fucked up, dog. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's fucked up. I'm disappointed. You know what I'm saying? In what direction you choose to fight, because when it comes to what your attempt was, what your motive was for this freaking debate, you lost. You failed. You came up short. You know what I'm saying? And how it ended, it further proves that my group of people in situations like this can be corrosive. It continue to be corrosive. Absolutely point blank. When you are choosing to engage with a white man and you choose to do that on a topic, and he just happened to be schooling and educating you, and that's what you emphasize on your channel. I like for my chat to be educated. I like for them to learn the intricacies and perspectives of boxing. See, when you start to sing the choir and it's the same old song and dance, people listen to the bullshit. If you don't never switch up the tune, people get tired of listening to it. They already know what is going to be said. So in the debate format, when you're talking about you like for your people to be educated, and Rick is educating you and your people, you can't turn around and say, oh, it wasn't meant for me. It was more so for my audience. Well, you're still good. You're still in the green because your audience is still getting educated. No. I didn't mean for them to get educated from somebody else. I want them to listen to my bullshit and not me, not for me to be held accountable for talking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I want my audience to be listening to my bullshit, but not for me to be corrected on trying to pass it off to somebody else that's educated in the game on some bullshit. And that's exactly what we witnessed tonight. You can't come up here and threaten the man. You can't bring race into it. Bro, you need to apologize for Rick bringing his wife into it. That was some whole ass shit, and I'm going to call it for what it is, Marty. Whole ass shit, bro. That made black people look bad, man. Because we always want to cry when we run into a situation that may be racist. Okay, it may be racist. But what you did was show a fragment. You saw where it's breached, man. Like you haven't been around enough of our civilization, our history. You know what I'm saying? What we had to fight for. You prove that we still got a lot of growth to go through. It's distasteful, bro. You brought this man wife into the shit and he didn't bring your family to it at all, bro. That's show weakness, man. You showed weakness tonight, bro. You brought the man's wife into it because she was black. What kind of man is you, man? You say you in the business of boxing and you stay close to the sport, and the sport been grimy for a long fucking time, and you can't stop it because it's not one single entity. It's a whole entire layer, bro. This landscape in boxing go forever and ever and ever. And this man absolutely educated you on some of that landscape. He educated your ass, Marty. And you're gonna bring his wife into it. Bro, I can't co-sign on that shit. No, bro. No, that's fucked up. I can't co-sign on some shit like that. No, man. No. That is only confusing to people that don't want to look at it in the way I'm looking at it. That's not cool, bro. You went for that man's wife because she was black, like family has something to do with it. But that's the exact same reason. And for all you that's listening, check this out. Check this out. That's the exact same reason why, as a black man, I can speak about my people. I can speak about black people because I've been around them long enough to know how sometimes they act stupid. They do stupid shit, especially when it comes to race. If Rick Glaser would have sat up there and mentioned Marty's wife or his girl or his kid, and they ain't never met or broke bread, oh, the next live would be Rick Glaser's freaking racist. Rick Glaser's racist. That's why I consider it to be some soft ass, hoe ass shit. You went directly for his wife who happened to be black, which you don't have shit to do with. So that only proves that you brought this man over to your panel to get to that point. You didn't have no respect for the man bringing him on your panel. You already had an agenda set up. The agenda failed miserably. It burned down in front of you. You couldn't take it. And then you go for his girl. Bro, you go for his girl, man. You don't know how long they've been married. What if Rick would have went for your family? Oh, hell, man, Rick is the goddamn grand wizard of the clan. Oh, Rick did this. He is straight up racist. Man, it's disgraceful, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you, Marty. That's just disgraceful. I can see you getting mad at him saying you effing stupid in the clown, but he asked you a question, brother. Maybe you should stop trying to do all that slick ass talking like you talking to kids. Maybe a 5-year-old would be impressed by that shit. But ain't no grown people that's been around the sport, that's been observing and picking up and soaking in knowledge. That man asked you a question. He said, are you effing stupid? Are you a effing clown? He didn't say you were. If he would have said, are you a nigga? Then you would have lost it. Oh my God. This is what I've been waiting for, Rick. Wow. Oh my God. He did it, y'all. He did it. He didn't say, he didn't even go there. You went there, brother. Marty went there, people. My people. My people. I ain't gonna lie, man. That's fucked up. Real talk. My people went there. If Rick Glaser would have went there with anybody in his family, they would have called that man racist. You know what I'm saying? If Rick would have asked him what type of home you grew up in, what type of home environment you grew in, you know, what's wrong with you people? What do you mean, you people? Oh my God. Rick said you people. Oh my God. Are you fucking stupid? Are you a fucking clown? Oh my God. No, Marty, that's what you wanted. You was building up with the incendiary rhetoric. That's what you wanted, brother. That's what you wanted. You wanted the verbal conflict to spiral out of control, and that's what happened. Don't sit up here and cry about that nigga. Don't do it. Don't sit up there and do that. Don't sit up there and try to goddamn bring his wife in there because you talk to me because your wife black. No, man, that's soft shit. You didn't come off to me like that's the needle point you was trying to play the record with, bro. You didn't come out. I never would have thought you searching for this man over and over as much as you did to finally get the opportunity to go out the way you did. Man, we can't do that as black people. Shout out Dundada. What's good? Man, I wasn't even, you know, I was looking at all that shit. People in the chat, all that. Come on, man. Man, people are not gonna disagree with me on that shit. Disagree with me. Man, fuck that, bro. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing to black people because on this YTC, we got people that always want to goddamn cry race, right? And then Rick didn't even go for his family. He's keeping it. He asked the man 2 questions and he loses it. And then, oh, you ain't gonna talk to me. I represent my city. Well, your city ain't got shit to do with this. You know how many niggas are locked up for heinous crimes that don't represent the city? That represent the actions that they took. That's the decision that they made, brother. You made a decision to say, oh, you can talk to me, a black man, because you got a black wife. That's pretty much what you were saying. It's embarrassing, bro. People don't know. I don't clout chase on nobody's shit. I don't clout chase. I do reactions. How the hell are you gonna say I'm clout chasing? They don't have no clout. Come on, man. We got to be smarter than that. Like, come on, bro. What's up with you niggas, man? How can you be clout chasing when somebody don't have no clout? We got to get out this damn premature alphabet type era that we continue to restrict ourselves in. We oppress ourselves. We come in here in the YTC and we treat it like a freaking daycare, bro. You know, we supposed to be grown ass motherfuckers, and it is some mature cats on here. Real talk. It's mature cats on here. Real talk, no doubt. But I'm talking about, man, all these cliche terminology, clout chasing. How can it be clout? And look, me and you on the same platform. How is clout though? You doing the exact same thing I'm doing. We got people. If you're on a YouTube channel, how is it clout? We're doing the exact same thing. Come on, bro. These Spence groupies want to pretend like we ain't seen all the shit they've been saying for years. I get it though. It's hard to admit you look dumb as fuck. That's why they dream up conspiracies. All this streaming from Crawford, putting a whooping on Spence, waiting to the rematch. It would be worse for Spence. He say he's disappearing. Spence say he's disappearing. Wait till December. So Spence is gonna go into seclusion, and that's the extent he got to take. I'm saying to myself, you give me more ammo to use. Like, what are you talking about? Going in, you goddamn, you're gonna disappear. Why you gotta disappear to train for Crawford? You wasn't in hiding when you was talking about he ain't fought nobody. I guess that was a lie. I guess shit, all that time Crawford was out there putting videos out, training videos. He was showing you. Don't change course now. He was showing you he was running up the hills. Motherfucking deers over on the side looking at, oh, champ, what it do, champ? You good? Man, we chilling over here, man. Weather, oh, nice weather. Man, we gonna goddamn, we'll meet you at the top, man. So how many miles you run today? You run the whole 7 up top? We'll be up there. We're gonna take a different route though. Yeah, Charlie's doing fine. Yeah, anime doing fine too. Huh? Yeah. Martha, she's good. Deers be out there having conversations with him. Must be in the hills of Omaha. So Top Rank is doing good business. Why did Bud leave and sue Aram? Only to end up on Showtime on the PBC. He didn't wind up on the Showtime on the PBC. Do Showtime need PBC? First of all, do Showtime need PBC? Did you hear anything? Where do PBC get their money from? Did you listen to the whole deal? He didn't sign with PBC. He signed with Showtime for a 2-fight deal. He didn't sign with PBC. See, you're just another stray over here just talking and don't know what you're talking about. But I gave you your 2 minutes now. I remember Crawford, doesn't enjoy listening to that problem. Terrible dialogue is frustrating for Marty to simply allow info to flow fluently. I agree. Shout out to Andre in the building. And you just let it flow, bro. Just let it flow. If you're right, you're right. You're wrong, you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? He said if he couldn't make the fight while he was with him, he definitely ain't gonna be able to make it not being with him. And they over here talking about he left Top Rank to sign with PBC. You must be a casual. You must be a temporary. You can't be watching boxing full time. You know what I'm saying? He talking about he just fought on the PBC. Did you not say the man was signed? Isn't that what you're saying? So what if he's on Showtime under the PBC banner? Errol Spence is under PBC. So what is PBC supposed to do? If Errol Spence, their golden child, that A-side golden child, isn't he with Al? Huh? Isn't he signed with PBC as a fighter? Who else was going to have their banner up there? Top Rank? You sound crazy because goddamn Crawford is not signed with a promotion. Man, you are absolute casual, bro. You're absolute casual. Y'all arguing that Rick is right, that Aram is Golden Boy is doing its right way. Yet all the fighters keep going to PBC. Nobody said that Golden Boy was doing it the right way. Man, are you blind? Are you blind and deaf? What's going on, man? Are you trolling? You must. I would suggest you go over there to listen to the whole thing, because obviously you're just picking up bits and pieces, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can only read your comment if it has some type of, you know what I'm saying, It's something conducive about it. I'm not getting that from you. It just seems like you're up here talking in bits and pieces. You're not listening. You know what I'm saying? When you're reading, you need to listen to what you're reading. Real talk. Look, I'm taking a step higher, right? You need to listen to what you're reading. And the way you do that is read out loud so you can get a better understanding. I'm being serious because you took bits and pieces and you way off course with it. Nobody's attaching themselves to a narrative. I'm playing out what was said. How am I attaching myself to it? I didn't come on here with a narrative. I'm playing audio. I'm playing audio. And how are you all going around here talking about malpractice of promoters? How long has boxing been a sport that's not regulated? Man, come on, man. You got to do more. You got to do more research, bro. Bud made the PBC capitulate to his demands. Then he crushed their premier fighter. He ain't with them, though. Man, come on, Andrew. Come on, man. God damn. That brother up here spitting fire. He crushed a fighter. Crushed him. I don't know what you're betting. Look, 92. You seem to be a little less informed. Okay. I'm not going to say you're stupid. I just got on Marty for not understanding that Rick asked, was he stupid? All right. So who am I to come behind and call you stupid? But you seem a little less informed. Okay. If it's a 2-fight deal Errol had with PBC and these 2 fighters signed with Showtime, Errol is with PBC, but they signed this under Showtime, right? And Showtime is attached to PBC. Why are you betting something? What's up? The bets are fake, fraud. That's not even a bet. It's nothing to talk about. Who cares? We just witnessed a fight on Showtime. It's a 2-fight deal. Like I said, I can't really provide you free time like that because you need to do more research. All I do is ask that you come on here more frequently and listen to channels that provide you with the knowledge that you need to return back to the hottest chat in the game and get your facts straight. Top tier UFC fighters don't make as much as the few premier boxing champions. But the lonely is distributed further, and UFC fighters fight more frequently, and that translates to more revenue. They are in rotation a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Tough glove boxing, what's good? Salute WCS and the rest of the family. Marty was getting cooked. Rick Glaser got frustrated and dipped. Rick Glaser was frustrated off him talking to another adult that claimed he was in the business because he kept on reiterating that to Rick. And Rick was like frustrated that if you saying that you're on the same level I am, but yet you keep on throwing little jabs at me, right? Rick said, listen, why you keep on throwing jabs? And this is not a boxing match. We're supposed to be having a dialogue. We're not supposed to be verbal sparring. We're supposed to be having a conversation. And you kept on throwing jabs at him to the point where he said, did you just heard what I said? I told you what we was trying to have a conversation, not verbal spar. In the process of him trying to, just block out everything Rick was saying, he missed intricacies. That's his word, intricacies. So when it comes to the intricacies, you overlooked that. You was deaf. You muted it because he said, I'm not talking about opponents. 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 Said it twice. Marty came behind and said, name 2 fighters. He said, I'm not talking about fighters. I'm talking about fight dates. Name 2. Heyman wanted nothing to do with Crawford Saturday, proves it. Hey, even Errol Spence, they ain't talking about how Errol Spence didn't say thanks to Al Heyman. He didn't say that. Errol, he the one that was talking about the 3%, right? Why does the sanctioning bodies get 3%? That's what Errol was talking about, right? Okay. Now they putting Crawford on daytime CBS, giving him the most exposure he ever gotten. His fan base grew, and he only fought once under the banner. This dude just rambling. So you're putting that, right? You're putting that on who again? You don't give Crawford credit for that, for whooping Spence ass? Like, let me ask you this question. Where else was Crawford supposed to go to get the fight? Because y'all was crying about Top Rank being the plantation, right? Errol Spence said he was going to break him like Top Rank Toby. You know what I'm saying? He was going to break him like Kunta, right? So in order for him to make the fight with Spence, who signed under the PBC banner, you tell me where else he was trying to go. So you're trying to act like PBC did Crawford a favor by him being on CBS? That had absolutely nothing to do with PBC. You want to know how I know that? Because I didn't see anything dealing with PBC when they was talking to him the whole entire time. You know what I'm saying? Just because you have a 2-fight on the contract, that doesn't mean in between fights, he's up here wearing PBC shirts. He's not signed to PBC, brother. You're not paying attention. He's not signed to PBC. He's not signed to PBC. So you can keep on talking what you're talking. You know what I'm saying? PBC didn't get him that CBS interview. PBC didn't get him that exposure. If that was the case, why Spence is in Spain with his girl? And why wasn't Spence on CBS? Just answer me that. And if I'm rambling, at least you understand what I'm rambling about. That's all I want you to do. PBC doing the same thing. Hold on for a second. I want to let y'all listen to this. Blunt sent me this. This is hilarious. Let me let y'all take this. Hold on.
Worth every penny. What you think about that Arrow and that Crawford fight? He can live up to the hype. Yeah.
No, I can't play that. It's playing music in the background. I can't play that. It's playing music in the background. My fault. None doubt that Crawford was on the First Take on ESPN with the biggest sports network in the world. Crawford had exposure. Hey, both of them was on ESPN First Take. I don't know what this guy talking about. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they're talking about. Y'all hold on for a second. Let me see. PBC barely promotes prospects and contenders. Top Rank showcases their young stable all the time. This is another example of the point Rick was trying to make. True words, Andrew. True words. Good point. Good point. Good point. Juice Lee, right? Are you fucking stupid? Hey, last time I checked, Juice, isn't it asking a question? He don't know. Juice, he don't know. He's asking. I'm not here to teach kids. You come over in this chat. This is the hottest chat in the game. I can't give you that attention like that. You want my attention, leave a super chat. That's how it's gonna go. Strays come over here, leave a super chat or something. I'm not gonna give you that attention, bro. What's good, OG man? You cooking Marty look real inadequate. Speaking to Rick. And he got mad at the end of it, talk about his wife in general. Yes, sir. No, bro, that's soft emotionally. Damn, Marty. Yeah, man. Marty Ma. Yes, sir. I agree, man. We can't do that as black people. We can't sit up here and have an agenda set up, and that person just happened to be white, and you act like it's all about the boxing. That's the genre. That's the topic. That's the genre that we're talking about, boxing. And then when you get it, you try to go swimming in that genre, and the current's too much for it, and you keep going underwater, and you don't want to admit that the current's too stiff, and take your ass to the shore, and you stay in there, and you wait around too long and get drowned at the end. That's exactly what happened. He was coming up for breath. He was incoherent, and Rick was like, I'm not talking about opponents. It's not about the opponent. It's fight dates. Name me 2 fighters. What are you talking about? I said it's the fight dates. Name me 2 fight dates. Rick just lost it, bro. And then you want to talk about, oh, you talking to me like that because you got a black wife? No, bro, that ain't good for black people. That ain't good look for us, bro. That's not a good look. Because you can't cry racism when you're going for the man's wife because she's black. So you're basically saying his wife has something to do with the conversation. And that's why he can't. No, he was talking to you as a man, like you was talking to him. You was up here talking about What if he would have did that little shit to you? You was acting like you don't know, man. That's soft, man. That's soft as hell right there. That's super soft. What's good with it? Bud popularity is rising. He gained 500K extra followers since July. Okay, that's what's up, man. That's good shit. Yeah, I seen his IG followers went through the roof, and he was on CBS. And that has something to do with his team and that ass whooping he put on Spence. You know what I'm saying? But I got to do this tomorrow, man. I got to get up out of here. You know, y'all hit the replay for me and continue to stay locked in. You know what I'm saying? And big shout out and salute to the hottest chat in the mother effing game right here. You know what I'm saying? Live and live in color. Salute to y'all, man. Appreciate the ones who support and donate to the channel. Until next time, man, y'all hold it down. I'm out.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best, you gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Hold on, let me get my earpiece right quick. Yeah, what up, man? I can't hear you. Hold on.